What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. Today we are making our P40, whatever you want to call it, English one-day competition debut for Yorkshire. I believe this is our third season overall, and I think it's the first time we are playing a Pro 40 game. So hopefully we can make our mark, and we can score some runs. Because in the one-day international scene, we haven't been too flash, but when it has come to the just one-day domestic games, we have been on fire like we have been in every other format. So let's hope we can carry that form on and take out Sussex here today. So we've started off well. We've just picking off the singles. We'll look to do that, look to build a partnership. We are going to try and go and bat for a good chunk of this innings. I was going to say a lot to talk about, but not really too much to talk about in truth. The New Zealand-India Test Series, that is done and dusted. New Zealand losing again in... Oh, what am I doing there? That's silly from me. But New Zealand losing the third test, so they've lost that series 3-0. What that does mean for India is I believe they are now back top of the test rankings, but don't quote me on that. I think they possibly were top even after a 2-0 lead, an unassailable lead, in the three-match series. But as far as I'm aware, they are now back top of the test rankings, so well done to them, obviously overtaking Pakistan, their long-term rival. So, but apart from that, New Zealand, I think throughout this whole test series, you know, have played well in patches, but then played really poorly. For example, the first innings of us batting in this test, we were very good. We had like I think 120 run partnership to open things up, which is probably one of our best opening partnerships for a while. And then really just collapsed, had a middle order collapse. James Neesham I think scored 71. And then there was 20 odds from both Santner and Watling, which helped the score along. I think it was to about 299, but at that stage, probably a little bit too late in the whole big grand scheme of things. But it was little passages, and passages we played really good, and passages we played really bad. So we just need to go and get rid of those bad sessions, get rid of those bad hours, and we will be a fairly good test playing nation. I think there is still. I wouldn't say concern about how the team wants to be made up, but I feel as though, Ronke at 5, he has done well in this test, but he is getting on, 36 years of age now. I think nearly 37 actually, so not really a long-term option. I think, Santner obviously does need to stay in the side, but personally I think batting down at number 8, it really does take out that frontline bowler that I think, possibly in this test we were missing, obviously going in with the 3 out-and-out bowlers with Bolt, Matt Henry, Jeetan Patel, and then James Neesham, and what are you doing, Cliff? Oh my god, I've never seen that before. Both batters down the other end. We've only run 2 at the end of the day, but that was very strange. But yeah, James Neesham and Mitchell Santner, I guess, to pick up the rest. Neesham probably more on the side for his batting rather than his bowling. And there is a thick outside edge. So that's the first real mistake that we have seen from Cliff in this 19 he's hit so far. But yeah, I think the makeup of the side does just need still a little bit of tweaking. It'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. But I think in the one-day internationals, we are going to be a lot more competitive. We do welcome back Corey Anderson, so it's good to have him back. Obviously such a match-winning player. And we will just have to wait and see what does happen in this one-day international series. There's a nice shot that has been flicked off the pads, and that's going to go for 4. But playing India in India is always going to be tough. Ravi Ashwin was absolutely exceptional. I think he took 13 wickets in this game. Got 7 for in the... Yeah, he got 7 for in the second innings, 6 for in the first innings, and I think in the first innings as well, he got 2 run-outs too. So really it was basically the Ravi Jadeja... Not the Ravi Jadeja, the Ravi Ashwin show, and the Jadeja show was just a little bit of a second act. I think he picked up 4 wickets in the game, scored some runs. Real good supporting act, obviously, to Ravi. But it was, it is very hard. Ravi Ashwin in India, I think he's now picked up 21 5-wicket hauls in his test career. And he's only played, I think, about 40 tests. So to be picking up a 5-wicket haul, basically every second test match is just absolutely incredible. So good in India. A lot of people have said not as good away from home, but, still a very quality player. And his batting has come a long way in recent times. I think he did pick up a couple of hundreds, or at least 800, in the Test series against West Indies, which was before this one against New Zealand. So his batting's come a long way. He really is starting to merge into an all-rounder. Batting at number 7, possibly could go up a bit higher, possibly could bat at number 6 if they did go for a slightly different combination. But again, that is, we can only just talk about that. We can only speculate about that. What the Indians would do. We can't influence their decision, obviously, to go and make the team choices. But apart from that, that is really all that has been happening. I think in Friday's video we will have a little bit to talk about. I think the Pakistan-West Indies test is going to start. I believe the South Africa-Australia 5th one-day international is going to be coming up. The 4th one-day international it has been and gone. South Africa winning again, resting a lot of players and still having a very, very comfortable win. I believe I worked it out that they were resting, I think, 4 of their first-choice bowlers, Dale Steyn, Morne Morkel, young Kyle, is it Kyle Rababa? I'm not sure, but Rababa and Vernon Philander all missing from action. Imran Tahir as well, who's a very good limited overs bowler too. All missing and still managed to roll the Australians, I think, for about 170 odds. So it's a very good effort from them to go and do that, and then chasing it down with relative ease. Now remember, De Villiers is missing from the South African side as well. So a lot of people, including myself and people I've talked to, have said that this Australian side is under strength, it's missing key players, etc., etc. Which essentially it is. But South Africa are in the same position. When you look at Australia, really just missing Stark and Hazelwood. Whether they would have made a huge difference on the tour, it is hard to tell. And then possibly someone said Sean Marsh, because he scored back-to-back one-day centuries in the recent one-day tour of Sri Lanka. So, there's another one who possibly goes in for Finch, who's definitely had his moments in the one-day game, but he's definitely had his bad points as well. So it'll be interesting to see how long he does manage to last in that one-day setup. Especially with some good young players coming through as well. There are some good young openers going around the Australian scene at the moment that would, jump at the chance to go and take that spot up there. And then, there's always Glenn Maxwell. He's another guy who's missing from the squad. Probably would have batted, I guess, in the middle order, but would have been very useful, I guess, with his spin as well. But, we saw what he did in the T20 series in Sri Lanka. I think about 170 runs, 180 runs in 2 games. Absolutely electric. So, he is potentially a guy who could open in one-day internationals. I think he has done it a couple of times before. Just when they have gone out, they have been chasing small targets or needed to, I don't know, maybe possibly playing for a bonus point or something in a competition where they've needed to go out and score their runs quickly. So they have sent Glenn Maxwell up the order to bat. So we'll have to wait and see. But apart from that, that is basically all we have to talk about today. We've driven that one through the covers. We will just pick up 2. I don't think we've got a 3 yet today. And that's a good throw from the boundary. But we are moving towards that 50. And as I said, it would have been nice to go and bat majority of the innings. But we have already batted for quite a long time, actually. You wouldn't believe it. But it is just 27 balls. But it is going to be the 27th that goes and brings up our 50. So a 50 on debut for this Yorkshire side in this 40-over competition. And you do, I think, in this, even in my career reborn, where I have played a little bit more of this 40-over stuff, that, you do need to go out and be a little bit more aggressive, because obviously you do have 10 less overs. That's 10 less overs that you have batting-wise. Often there are quite big scores that are taken to, you're looking around 240 most games probably as average, which is 6 runs and over. You go to a 50-over game, you're looking at about 250. It slows down just a little bit, which is incredible what 10 overs difference does do. And it's the same when T20 games are shortened, I guess. They just go, you go to a 10-over game and teams just go absolutely ballistic. They score like 130 runs off 10 overs. And imagine if they kept up that pace, inside the 20 overs, we'd be looking at 260, and that is just an absolute massive score. Just like that aerial shot from us, absolutely massive, as it goes for a 72-metre 6, so not very big whatsoever, but finally got a hold of one. It was just up there, it was asking to be hit, and we move on to 60 off 30, so we're definitely doing our bit. We're going to start to go for we're going to start to go at the bowlers, I guess you would say, just to go and I guess speed things along, because we have talked about everything that we have needed to. We've faced 30 balls. Let's go and let's get this 100 in quick, smart time. So, Chris Jordan, I'm sorry that it is you that is getting taken to, but we definitely need that. We need that 50 XP for hitting the sight screen too. I'm still trying to get up inside, you know, like the top 100, top 200 in this game. Not that it is going to matter too much. Playing on the old console, and, you know, everyone is going to have Don Bradman 17 when it does come out. We do get an outside edge on that one, but a very well made 72 off 33, getting the Yorkshire, I believe it's the Yorkshire Vikings, I'm not 100% sure, but the Viking is the logo that we do have. Someone can let me know down in the comments below if I am wrong, but a very well made 72, very hasty as well, so hopefully that does mean that the other players can go and make a decent hash of it, which they haven't really done. They've only made 265, and considering the position that we were in, you would expect a whole lot more. And I believe that it has actually gone and been chased down rather comfortably. Unless, oh, you are joking. You're giving me a bowl. Whoever the captain is, I bloody love you. I bloody love you. You're giving me a bowl. I absolutely love it. Right, pace defence 5. We're going to go for the Yorkers. And we are only 25 overs in as well, which is quite strange to give us a bowl at this stage of the innings. You know, it's quite vital. You would surely be using, you know, some of your more experienced guys, but we'll just go and bowl our little dibbly-dobblies. Still 104 left to go, and I was going to say that would have been a very short game had it ended then and there, but you know, we'll keep going. We'll take a bowl. It's not very often in this batting career we do get a bowl, but we had, I think we went through the stats last episode, and our stats for our bowling aren't actually too bad. You know, we can do a little bit with the ball. Cheeky little reverse sweep there from Ed Joyce. Was kind of hoping that he'd miss it, go on to smash him on the pads, and we would have an LBW decision. Not too sure what the batsman were doing there. Trying to sneak a second run, basically just as we had basically the ball in our hands, which is very strange. So I'm just trying to get something hit in the air, you know, towards anyone. Oh, we'll take a wicket of any sort, boys. Any sort. It would be an absolutely amazing thing if we could get a wicket in this batting career. It doesn't, as I said, happen very often that we do get a bowl. We do get some dot balls though. And so, as I said, surprisingly, our bowling average and economy rate isn't actually that bad. We've only gone for 3 in this over so far. And that is going to be all it is. So whether it is just the one over that we get or we continue to have a wee bowl here will be interesting. And it's looking as though we are going to continue to get a bowl. So we're going to continue to have a bit of a spell. And 83 off 13. So maybe our captain, I'm not too sure who it is, but maybe he has realised the quality and economy that Cliff does come with the ball. Because we've done it so far. We've 7 balls, only 3 runs have been taken off us so far. And we are just continuing to just get it, you know, in a nice position. Not really too much that can be done. And just having to go and really fend it around. Not that one there, but it has gone straight to side bottom. Small grounds here, so if you don't get it, you know, in the area that you want, the outfield can close it down very, very quickly. So again, we've still just gone for that one. And we're just bowling. All we're doing at the moment here is just bowling to our field. That is all we are doing. Just bowling to the field, making it easy on ourselves, and just going for these singles. And to be honest, we'll take this. If we go and bowl 4 overs, you know, only go for like 16 runs or something like that, our captain will be happy, especially in this stage of the game. You know, coming up against a part-time bowler like this is a guy you really would be looking to target. But not the case. They've just gone and just picked out the fielders pretty much. And there is another very good over. We've kept it in a very good line and length. And honestly, you just got to stop bowling me. We want to see the result in this game, but we do want to stop the recording. But we can't go and do that, not just yet anyway. And as we can see, there was 72 required off the last 11. So run rate already up over 6. So I'm hoping that this probably is going to be our last over. Just because as we get into that last 10, you can imagine that players are going to start to go for a little bit more of a slog, be a little bit more aggressive, and try and get those runs ticking over, get those runs, you know, taken off. Obviously, 72 off the last 10 is not the end of the world, but it could be now, boys, because we've gone and got ourselves a wicket, and Wells is heading back to the hut. Cliff, the person you would least expect, the opening batter, to go and take a wicket, has gone and done it, boys. And that is an absolute magic moment in this batting career. We've got a wicket. We're 1 for 5. Best bowler at the moment, I would say. And that one there has just been cheekily lobbed up over the bowler's head. Could have been 2 and 2, but just gets up enough. And Matt Pryor, you are one lucky boy not to be going out there, son, because otherwise we would have been on a hat-trick and we would have been pumped up, fired up, and we will just take that single. Potentially going for a wicket maiden there, but not the case. Matt Pryor has gone and taken us for a single off his last ball of the over. Here comes our last ball, 1 for 6. And, you know, we will definitely take that. We will definitely take that single. A wicket and just 2 off it. So 1 for 7 off 3 overs. And as I said, I kind of do hope that that is our last over. Otherwise, we are going to be making it quite difficult on ourselves heading in to the back end of this recording. But it's not the case. We are going to continue with the ball, which we've done so well with. 61 off 54 required. So 61 off the last 9 overs. And just want to go and probably keep it the same that we have. There has been another wicket lost, I should say. So we do now have 2 right-handers on strike, which probably does suit me a little bit better because I do like to go and bowl, you know, those in-swingers. Aim for those pegs, especially with such a low skill set that we have with Cliff here. We're going to try and bang in a slower Yorker here, in-swinging Yorker, and just see what we get. But that one there, very wide, and as I said, the skill set isn't great on this portion. Obviously, this career is just for batting, but today we're having a bit of fun. We're having a bit of a bowl as well, so hopefully we can go and get something. I'm just hoping that he goes and tries to play it a little bit aerial out to that man who, you know, he's probably at a backward point, I guess you would say, more than anything, but do just need to be careful that we don't go for runs because the game is still obviously in the balance, so we do want to make sure that we can try and win it from here rather than just going and taking those wickets. So 58 off 49, and really don't know how much longer I am going to have a bowl for because this is starting to get towards a joke. We've gone for 4. I did say if we went for 16 we'd be happy. We have only gone for 12, so we're only going at 3 runs and over, and that is probably why our captain has gone and stuck with us through this difficult portion of the game. I believe now we are done and dusted. So the 4 overs, 1 for 12, very, very good knock. Not good enough though because the Sussex boys are shaking hands. They get there with 1.3 overs left to go and 6 wickets left in the bag. Nash getting that man of the match, 94 of 67. Did something that we couldn't do and got closer to that 100. But still a fairly good debut, I would have to say, for us. Top batter for our team, 72 off 33. And the top bowler as well, which is something you wouldn't expect. 1 for 12. Potentially could be getting a wee bit more of a bowl in this competition. We will have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap things up here. Do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter. Links that can be found down below in the description. Hope you're having a good week so far. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We've got some more Cricket Coach England Reborn coming your guys' way. Make sure you do not miss that.